On this episode of System Integrators Weekly, we're looking at NZXT's build kits, which are a totally new idea that wasn't something that existed for a long time over at Lyte Gaming PCs. Definitely not. We'll also look at some actual pre-built computers, so that if you don't feel like building a computer yourself, you don't have to. All that and more on this episode of System Integrators Weekly. Let's go, nerds! This episode of System Integrators Weekly is sponsored by CDKDeals. CDKDeals is an online marketplace that specializes in discounted, genuine Microsoft licenses and game keys for several different platforms. My viewers can get an additional 25% off with the discount code BRAY25. Let's get a Windows key. We'll opt for Windows 10 Pro for the enhanced security features. CDKDeals offers an OEM license for a fraction of the price of a retail key. The difference with an OEM key is that you can only use it on one system, but that should be all you need. You will need to make sure you either have Windows 10 Pro already installed or you perform a fresh installation, since OEM keys cannot be used to upgrade from Windows 10 Home if that's what you have installed currently. Here I entered BRAY25 to get 25% off. You can also click where it says Use Activity Discount for a small additional discount. Now our key for Windows 10 Pro is only $15.43. Pay with your method of choice, and once the payment goes through, click View Keys/Codes. Click Get the Key and copy it. Then just go to your Windows search, type in ACT, there it is. Click Activation Settings. My Windows install was already activated, so I'll be replacing that key, but yours should just say Activate Windows. Paste in the key, click Next, and activate, and you're done. Thank you, CDKDeals, for continuing to support the channel. Hello, everyone, and welcome to System Integrators Weekly, where we are all about learning. The lesson for this episode is about learning to deal with disappointment, which I guess we've all been learning at least for the last year and a half. But we're not talking about disappointment that GPUs aren't available. We're talking about other smaller disappointments. Or even larger, depending on how you look at it. Disappointments like our friends the scalpers and their little bots going after not just GPUs, but also other things like, say, the Razer Zephyr, the ridiculous and also ridiculously awesome RGB clear powered face mask that Razer released on Thursday. And the disappointment was that I actually interrupted my stream just to try and purchase one.
One time I was going to be there for something to launch. One time.
And at hour 0, minute 0, second 0. And it immediately crashed the site and they sold out just like that. Not even masks are safe anymore, and the consumer lifestyle is dead. But aside from that, there are also more subtle disappointments, such as the disappointment in those that we look up to at times, because let's face it, nobody is perfect, and no one knows everything. Certainly not I. But the gentleman whom I am often compared to, Mr. J over at J's 2 Cents, one of my absolute favorite YouTubers, showed that same thing, where you may know much, but you cannot know all. However, Google is a thing, and when he posted his video about the NZXT build kit, which I'm sure a lot of you were planning on going into the comments and asking me about. Don't worry, I know about it. The approach to let us know of this was to say, why hasn't anyone thought of this before? And put in the thumbnail, why did this take so long to make a DIY gaming PC build kit? Well, a quick Google search would show you. Our friends over at Lyte Gaming PCs are the first result, DIY PC build kit. The first result, other than advertisements, would be the DIY shop page at Lyte Gaming PCs. As a matter of fact, you'll find that NZXT's build kits is not even the second or third option that pops up. And the only thing you'll see, the top stories where everyone is freaking out that NZXT has decided to let you build your own gaming PC. Lyte's been doing this for a while, guys, and their kits, in some cases, are arguably better. Despite all that, Of course, I still love Jay over at J's 2 Cents. He's still one of my favorite YouTubers, and I definitely don't mind that I am called a bald J's 2 Cents, even though he and I look completely different and act completely different. But you know what? I digress. Anyway, so we're going to look at these build kits. We're going to compare them. That makes this episode a little different from some of the others you've seen. But we will dip into a couple other websites and see what is in stock, at least for, say, ready-built systems and things like that. But we'll start it off with these build kits, because if you have had that itch to build your own computer, I can completely understand. Now, one thing I traditionally do around here is preface all the quote-unquote actual content with some important announcements, giveaway information. You already got the episode summary, so that's done. But info about merch, whatever. However, I've been told by 5 or 6 people that they're absolutely certain that nobody cares about that stuff because they don't. So those 5 or 6 people who represent everyone, apparently, have spoken. I've decided, for this episode at least, I'll move the announcements, giveaway information, stream announcements, all that kind of stuff, to the end of the video. So, that means, those of you who actually care enough to stick around to the end of the video, thank you, what's up, I see you, we'll get all that giveaway info and the good stuff. So thank you to those 5 or 6 of you who spoke for absolutely everyone. I appreciate it, and you really have to let me know how you figured out what absolutely everyone is thinking. That's a really neat trick. However, I will not skip past the disclaimers because I get questions about this stuff all the time, so listen up. This will be helpful info for you. If you go looking for something that I showed on the video and it is no longer there or the price has changed, that's because the market is volatile right now. So this video is filmed for October 24th, 2021. And a bare day later, you might find that everything has changed. So don't let that surprise you. However, you can take some of this information and it may help you decide on something similar. Or you could just come to the stream and ask me there. I stream every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday at around 8 p.m. Central Standard Time at twitch.tv/Brayathorn. So you can ask me there, or hop in the Discord, links in the description below, and you can ask for some help right there as well. Be sure to put @techie before your question in the Tech Questions channel. Moving on. The next disclaimer is you will hear a lot of facts and see things on your screen to back up those facts. However, they will be affected, the things I say are affected by my opinion because that's how humans work. So, if you, as a human, have a differing opinion, that's awesome. You're a human, so am I. We do that. The right thing to do then is to politely discuss those opinions and maybe find some kind of middle ground, or maybe even change your mind if someone presents you with better information or more thorough information to back up their well-formed and thoughtful opinion. It's the way we talk and it's the way we do things if we want to get anywhere. So put those disagreements or agreements in the comments below, and or go to the Discord, the tech discussions. However you want to express yourself, you are free to do so in any part of my community, and I'm happy to hear it. Let's start off with the NZXT build kits. Now, these were covered very thoroughly on several different videos, and I gotta say, I wish that Jay had gotten the AMD system, the Streaming Plus build kit that came with the Ryzen 5 5600X. Instead, he got the Starter Pro build kit that came with that has the Intel platform, because it gave Kyle over at Bitwit the chance to completely validate me and vindicate me on my opinion on RAM. Let's have a look.
16 gigs, they gave us 2 8-gig sticks of T-Force Vulcan Z, DDR4, 3200 speed. I would have liked to see 3600, considering that this is a Ryzen 5000 series chip on Zen 3, and it likes fast memory and it can handle 3600, but we can always try our hand at overclocking it once we're in the BIOS and the system's fully built.
What did I tell you? 3600 megahertz RAM is ideal for Ryzen 5000. Now, he didn't go into detail like I try to avoid doing, because the details can be not super interesting for those who don't want to get into detailed specs, but yes, it means you can get 1-to-1 F-clock synchronization with Ryzen 5000 series or the Zen 3 architecture. 3600 megahertz RAM is the way to go, preferably CL16, like this kit right here. So if you get a system that is a Ryzen 5000 system that has 3200 megahertz RAM or lower, then you're going to want this kit right here or something similar. It's about $75 to $80 depending on the price at the time from Amazon, and this is a Crucial kit, not a Corsair kit. Crucial Ballistics DDR4 3600 CL16. Thank you, Kyle. You're a beautiful man, and you're very smart. So first, let's look at the Starter Pro build kit. That's the setup that is $13.99. Now, looking at the videos that were put out there, These are very comprehensive kits. They come with every part you need, and they come with a very thorough book of instructions that has a lot of cute pictures in it, which is, of course, very important for you to do a good job. But this kit is only $1,400. That's quite good, and it's not that good if your budget is lower than that, obviously. That's where Lyte Gaming PCs comes in. Their kits start at $877. That is an entry-level system. It has a GTX 1650, but it is a budget entry-level system. It even has an SSD included. Oh, also dual-channel memory. We'll get into the details later on. Right now, we're going to look at what NZXT has to offer. So looking at this, it gives you all the specs of what you're going to get. It shows you what you're going to get right there, okay? And it gives you the specifications. First specification, no airflow. Whatever. They're low TDP parts. It's low powered, although it does come with a 3060 Ti, and at that price, that's quite good. But they put it in the H510. I would have preferred they just waited until the flow was more available so they could use that to just verify that it's going to have good airflow. You got an Intel Core i5 11400F. That means it is not a K SKU, so it is locked and not overclockable, and the F means it has no built-in graphics. However, the system does come with a 3060 Ti, so you have a dedicated GPU. And price-wise, the 3060 Ti it's difficult to find one at anything that's not unreasonable. So this is a decent deal. You get 16 gigabytes of memory at 3200 megahertz. 3200 megahertz is what every system integrator seems to really like. iBUYPOWER loves it. Well, CyberPowerPC goes under that on their instant ship systems, but whatever. RAM is one of the easiest things to upgrade in your system, so don't despair. The cool thing here, because you would be building this, you could just not use the case. You could just take that box, scrap it, and get yourself one of these. That's right, the Phanteks Eclipse P360A. That is beautiful, fine mesh on the front. It comes with 2 RGB fans. It is supposed to be wonderful to build in. It is about the same size, which is a smaller mid-tower as the H510, and it has gobs of airflow. So that's my recommendation there. Also, with something like the memory, you could just not install that memory and just sell that. It's in a brand new, but in a static-free bag, and then just get yourself one of these. Immediate upgrade. There you go. However, for the 11400F, it's not quite as important to have that 3600 megahertz RAM, and you could roll with a 3200 megahertz just fine. It is a 6-core, 12-thread processor, 2.6 gigahertz, but still a decent gaming CPU. This is a good entry-level gaming PC, and as a matter of fact, even the fact that it's a 550 watt bronze, I would say that's a little bit low for a 3060 Ti. If you listen to what NVIDIA has to say about it, they recommend at least a 600 watt. Now, I will say that this processor, it's probably fine. This system will probably be fine. And you'll notice that under normal loads, you'll probably be using anywhere from 250 to 350 watts. It's when you game that it's going to be start to get a lot more power hungry. But here we go, though. We're talking about yet another part where you might just tell yourself, you know what, I'm just not going to use that. I'll buy another one. And the cost just keeps going higher as you keep doing that. Now, the huge benefit here is that NZXT applies their 2-year warranty to this. Meaning, you build the thing, so they can't really warranty the build. They're going to warranty the parts for 2 years. So when a part goes bad, you don't just box it up and send it off to, say, Crucial to get it RMA'd. You can do that that can be taken care of through NZXT, which does simplify things quite a bit. And they are going with Windows 10 Home. Thank you, NZXT, for doing that. So you get a 1TB M.2 drive. Nice. CPU cooler is a Deepcool GAMX GTE V2. That is a tower air cooler, which is totally fine for this CPU. In fact, tower air coolers, in some cases, are more effective than a 120mm all-in-one liquid cooler, or just as effective with lower cost. I just tend to feel that liquid coolers are more aesthetically pleasing, and they leave more room to view in your case and all of that. So that is the Starter Pro. Now, let's talk about the next one. This is the Streaming Plus build kit. So this system features my favorite combination. Well, one of my least favorite things, which is still the same case, even though it's a few $100s more than the other option. But this features one of my favorite combos for a gaming PC, which is the Ryzen 5 5600X and a GeForce RTX 3060 Ti. Now the 3060 Ti, I will remind you, I showed you in the last video, that the 3060 Ti is listed as being more powerful than a 2070 Super was. And that puts it well up into the category of being able to competently game at 1440p. Look at me and tell me that the 2070 Super couldn't game at 1440p. Yeah, it's very, very capable and probably the best price to performance GPU on the market. Still, at $1599, that's a good combo. But you got to look at everything. And we're looking at 3200 megahertz memory, so $80 to get yourself the right memory later on. You're looking at it's an NZXT Kraken M22, 120mm all-in-one liquid cooler. In this case, look, it can handle it. You're looking at a 90-watt TDP on the 5600X. A 120mm all-in-one liquid cooler can generally handle that. However, you'd be better off with a 240. However, at least I went with a B550 ATX motherboard, not MATX, and a, look, 650-watt bronze. Of course, still the same 1TB M.2 drive. This is going to be a good performer right here. However, there are some caveats to that, and the M22 will be fine for a while. If you find that you're not getting quite the performance you want, check your temps. You can use Afterburner with Riva Tuner Statistics server and watch your specs up there on the window. Jay's 2 Cents had a great video on this. And there you go. See if your CPU temps are getting a bit high, and they will potentially with this. They say food always tastes better when someone else makes it for you. I disagree because I've been to McDonald's. I'm not a big fan. But I've made myself like a crazy awesome sandwich, and that sandwich is great. I made it myself. It's me. I did it. I had a connection to that sandwich. I mean, I still ate it despite our connection. But basically, what I'm getting at here is there's a reason that a lot of people insist that you need to build your own computer. Now, when they say that you're not a true gamer if you don't build your own computer, that's where I draw the line. Because that's two different hobbies. Like, you're not a true race car driver if you don't build your own car. That's two different jobs. In this, that would be two different hobbies. Gaming and custom DIY PC building and modding and stuff. That they can exist separately, and often do. You can be into building computers and not really be that much into gaming. You can be into gaming and not want to have the hassle of building your own computer. If someone views that as a hassle, that doesn't mean that they're not a true gamer and that they can't like completely whoop you in all the games that you love to play. DIY PC builder who's judgy and gatekeeping, chill out. It's a totally different thing to do. They do complement each other though, and that is fair. So this gives you the chance to make that connection with your PC, build it yourself, which also teaches you what parts go where, and it makes you more comfortable with cracking open that PC and replacing parts that are faulty, troubleshooting things, cleaning it out, which is important. But what we're going to do here on this channel is we're going to take some of these pre-built computers and we're going to take them apart. I'm going to show you how to do some of that stuff. So if you don't feel like building your own computer, but you do want to familiarize yourself with your system, get subscribed. We're going to have some videos on simple ways to upgrade your system, get better airflow, install that better RAM and add storage. All of those things that you might be nervous to do, you won't be for long. Get subscribed. I mentioned Lyte Gaming PCs, and we're going to take a look at their site. Hey everybody, sorry to interrupt myself. It's very rude to me, I know, but I just wanted to come in and say a couple things. The first thing now, the second thing, end of the video, so if you want to hear this really exciting announcement, stick around till the end. But the first thing, I was told recently by Caleb over at Lyte Technology, yeah, that's the guy in the really funny commercials, that's the one, that they're going to be changing how they have things with their DIY build kits. They're going to have some new kits. They were already in the process of working on this when NZXT came out with their stuff, just to update everything and have some new packages available. So keep an eye out, because it's going to be up and live like within a week. So keep an eye out for more detailed coverage of that from me. And yeah, so back to the video, and stick around till the end for something really, really exciting that just happened just after I recorded everything for this video. It's really cool. All right, see you at the end of the video. Back to me. This is their DIY shop page. Lyte DIY PCs, full PC build kits designed for you to build yourself, and they've been doing these for a long time. And look at this, 92% positive feedback, 4.6 stars. That's a good track record. What we're going to do is, I'm probably going to be doing a dedicated video for Lyte Gaming PCs, because this is different. They are different from your typical system integrator. And that's when I like to give extra coverage. So just looking here, this first one, $1,073. Comes with a Ryzen 5 2600, a 6-core 12-thread. Basically, it's a precursor to the 3600 and 5600X, and a GTX 1070 8GB card, basically precursor to the 2070 and 3070. These never stopped working if they're brand new. It's just that there's newer stuff out there. That doesn't mean these are bad. You are getting 16 gigs of RGB RAM, but it is 3000 megahertz. You could get faster RAM later on, but yes, it's dual channel. Where I think there could be an improvement is with the first storage option here. Rather than a 256 gig SSD and a 1 terabyte hard drive, I'd rather see something like a 1 terabyte M.2 SSD, not a SATA SSD like this one. The difference in speed is noticeable, and no new system should be built with a SATA 3 SSD as a boot drive. Now you get an A320M, it's fine, still AM4 socket, a 550 watt 80 plus bronze, and a power supply, and a Talos E1 case. Now the case looks like it does have side venting on both sides, could be better, but for these parts it should be okay. This system is more expensive, it's $2,000, but it comes with a Ryzen 7 3700X, so that is the more modern last gen 8-core 16-thread processor, and the 3700X is a pretty great gaming processor. 3070 8GB, that's a 30. I have a 3070. That's the card I have. And what they did was, to give you 32 gigs of RAM, they went with 4 sticks of 8 gigs of that XPG 3000 megahertz RAM. Also, instead of going with faster storage, we went with a 2 terabyte hard drive here, and that same 512 gig. 750 watt 80 plus bronze power supply. It's good for the GPU. And a GameDias M1B case. I would need to see what the case looks like. And then you finally have an AIO here with a 120 millimeter RGB AIO. There's a lot more to say about Lyte Gaming PCs. So look forward to this. Around November 1st, around November 1st, we're going to be coming out with a dedicated video on Lyte technology, because they are a unique system integrator, and we want to cover every base with them. Sort of how I did with iBUYPOWER back in the day before I even started these. I did a buyer's guide for iBUYPOWER. Some of you have seen that. So we're going to be doing something similar and sort of exploring Lyte Gaming PCs as a company. So look forward to that. Well, I will say this. NZXT boils it down really well. They apparently have a very thorough guidebook. I hate this case. You guys know I hate the H510. I've talked about it a million times. It needs airflow. It doesn't have it. I guess it's just, I hate the case. And even with this, even with some of these parts, which are just newer, all of this stuff is current gen. You still need to replace some of them if you want to optimize, particularly on the Streaming Plus system that has the wrong memory for Ryzen 5000 series. Will it work? Yeah, it'll work. But you're leaving some of your CPU performance on the table. I'm going to test this for you guys, because guess what came in? This little guy right here has finally arrived. iBUYPOWER sent me a loaner system with the Ryzen 5 5600X and 3060 Ti system that I've recommended many times. So I'm going to put it through its paces, including finding out how to get the best airflow out of it, what the temps are without making any changes, running all kinds of benchmarks, and changing out that 3200 megahertz memory for 3600. Yeah, we're going to run benchmarks on that. Thank you, iBUYPOWER. And yes, this one is in stock right now. So if you want to get yourself one and sort of follow along with the adventure, you can do that. And it would be arriving, on Wednesday, October 27th. But now that we're here, let's take a peek at what's available on iBUYPOWER, because we usually do that. Same-day ready systems are one of the best places to look for a system you can get quickly if that's something you need. This $899 system has a Ryzen 3 3100 CPU, and it's on a B550 A Pro motherboard, and it has a 1650 Super, which is a noticeable increase in performance over the standard 1650. And then now one thing you will notice, on some of these systems, it says Windows 11 Home. On some of them, it says Windows 10 Home. Is that something to be concerned with if you're getting a Ryzen system? Well, it was. But according to several sources, including that's Windows and AMD, the issue with the L3 cache and with the UEFI CPPC2 issue, those should be fixed. So that 10 to 15% drop in performance for Ryzen systems specifically on Windows 11 should no longer be a thing once you download the latest updates. So maybe I can stop being salty about the fact that TechLinked used this clickbaity title of "Don't buy a pre-built PC" just because Windows 11 was slowing down Ryzen systems a little bit, and system integrators are going to be using Windows 11 when they could. I expect better from you guys. That's clickbait, and it's like the most reliable way to get a GPU right now is through a pre-built. Why are you giving out bad information like that?
You are the chosen one!
Say your budget is about $1,200 to $1,700. Just move these sliders to around those areas and find which one fits your budget best. Whichever one is basically near your max budget is usually going to be the better system. There are a lot of options right now, and I will say that I encourage you, if your budget's around $2,000, to look at this system right here. Windows 10 Home, hey, there you go. AMD Ryzen 7 5800X, B550A Pro motherboard, it's the same as they use on other Ryzen systems, and an RTX 3070, right there. Now, there is a system with a 3070 that is $100 cheaper, but the 11700KF might, in some few games, get a little bit better performance than the 5800X, but overall, the 5800X is a much better CPU, and the Ryzen platform, as we speak right now, is still on top. We will see what happens with Alder Lake. Calm down. But for yourself, here are my thoughts on should I get a system right now when there's something new coming out, especially if it's a Ryzen system and Intel's coming out with their new thing. Whenever there's a new platform, there's always going to be growing pains. This was no less true for when the first Ryzen processors came out. As a matter of fact, that whole first generation, it was rough. And then things started to mature fairly quickly with Zen 2, 2.5, Zen 3 is where we're at now. They used the same socket the entire time for all those generations of CPUs. And boy, was Dr. Lisa Su correct when she said that Ryzen would age like a fine wine. Ryzen 5000 series is spectacular. They came out with it last year. And then Intel earlier this year came out with Rocket Lake and said, oh, we're going to bury them. We're going to bury them. Okay, it wasn't that great. They use a lot more power and they don't perform as well. As a matter of fact, the 11900K is very frequently on benchmarks beaten out by its older counterpart, the 10900K, because they took away cores for no reason. So right now, if you were to get a Zen 3 Ryzen 5000 series processor on the AM4 platform, you are looking at the complete evolution of that socket, that chipset, that platform, all of that. It is as good as it's going to get, although AMD is coming out with their 3D cache chips later this year, supposedly. Those are going to be like the last step for Ryzen 5000 series. So there is a slight upgrade path. But basically, you're going to be getting it while it is at its best, not when it's new and they have a lot of wrinkles to iron out of the system. Guess what Alder Lake's going to be? It's going to be brand new. There's going to be a lot of wrinkles to iron out. They're going to be working on their BIOS. They're going to be working on their chipset. They're going to be working on a lot of stuff. And then they have to iron out the latency issues with DDR5. DDR5 is exciting, though, because of the massive capacities you can get. But with capacity and frequency comes latency. Kind of it scales. So that's why RAM that has higher frequency and lower latency is a little bit more expensive. Yeah, but there's a lot of systems here. Check out that $2,000 one. It is way better than the Intel one, in my opinion, but that is my opinion. If you disagree, go find me benchmarks where it says that this is a better CPU overall, and then we'll discuss. Now, moving on to some instant ship from CyberPower. They actually have a decent one here that I like, and it is similar to the other one, except it's a lower end GPU, but not by much. This system right here is 1849, comes with a 5800X and a 3060 Ti. The 3060 Ti will lose about 10 to 15% performance under the 3070. They do have the 3000 megahertz memory in here, 16 gigs, even though it's Ryzen 5000, and they should know better, they still did that. The case has better airflow. However, there's a huge shortcoming here in that they used the AMD stock cooler with this 5800X. Unless you're just doing spreadsheets, that's not enough. Not at all. They basically say that the processor has a 105 watt TDP, and that the cooling fan, the AM4 105 watt CPU cooler, should be able to handle that. It's not. A 5800X can run a little bit hot sometimes, so you're going to want to upgrade that cooler. Both of these will probably require some work after the fact because you have low airflow here, and that can be vastly improved. However, this comes with a 240 millimeter all-in-one liquid cooler. That's a huge upgrade over the other one. So I would say, you know what, even though I brought this up, go ahead and ignore this thing. Get the one with the 3070 and the better cooler on that 5800X. We're going to talk more about Lyte on November 1st. Come back and watch that video. Be sure to check that out because there's a lot of cool little things about that company that I think you're really going to like and some exciting stuff coming up. So please check that out. But that's going to do it actually for the system integrator coverage. So thank you guys for hanging out through that. Let's talk about a few things that are really important that are coming up really soon. All right, guys, hope you liked the video. Here's the huge announcement. So I've been really wanting to find a great source for some awesome desk pads, and I've been working on a design for one for a while. And then I talked to Noah over at Artesian Builds, and they do desk pads for a lot of bigger streamers and stuff, way bigger than me. He was like, yeah, let's do a desk pad. So the design is this. Check this out. I worked for a long time on this design. I hope you guys like it. Yes, pretty strong branding on there, but our little buddy RGB, he likes to make his presence known. So if you want a giant version of this as your mousing surface, you're going to want one of these. They are up for order now, starting to ship in November, and they are 36 inches by 16 inches. Pretty big desk pads, XL desk pads. Now, they have bigger ones over at Artesian. I could go bigger than that, but I feel like this is about right for most people. And you can get them, check this out, either with or without the RGB border. You can order either one, whichever one you want. It is up to you. Like, you can get the border like this right here where it lights up, or you can get it with the standard stitching. So yeah, really exciting, and I cannot wait to get mine. And if you cannot get one right now, do not worry, because on that Halloween spooky stream, I'm going to be giving away 2 of these, one RGB, one non-RGB. So, well, actually, it'll be up to whoever wins, whichever one they get. Anyway, yes, be sure to be at that Halloween spooky stream, second annual Halloween spooky stream on October 30th, this coming Saturday at 8 p.m. Central, twitch.tv/Braithorn. I'll see you there. And it will be spooktacular. Is that? No. Regretting that immediately. Anyway, yes, back to the end of the video. Okay? So, first off, the Halloween spooky stream, it's coming. Next Saturday, the 30th, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Multiple streamers, all of us carving up pumpkins, doing a costume contest between the streamers and seeing who's going to win the custom trophies I'm having made for it. And there's going to be spooky games and giveaways. Yes, giveaways, like giving away the soon-to-be extinct 2021 Halloween sticker. There you go. There's going to be stickers for every holiday. It's going to be really, really cool. Ari's doing so much work on these. It's awesome. By the way, we also made several sizes of the standard RGB sticker, and they're all adorable. Anyway, but yes, come check out the streams. There's going to be giveaways, including the announcement of the Govee immersion kit giveaway, which I extended to the 30th. Link in the description below. Go get entered into that. And also check out the video where I installed this and I unboxed it, installed it, and gave a demonstration on how it works and told you about the giveaway. Go check that out. Giveaway also includes some merch as well. So you want to get into that. Plenty of free ways to enter. Link in the description. Cool. It's going to be at twitch.tv/Breathorn. Have I mentioned that? I probably mentioned that. I stream every Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I help people just like you with one-on-one with your own custom PCs or pre-built PC configuration so you can buy one with one-on-one help from me. They're awesome. They're a ton of fun. I promise you. I guarantee it. I cannot guarantee that. If you don't like computers, you won't like that. But if you don't like computers, why are you here? Anyway, now the last thing is going to be the comment of the week. Let's check it out. The comment of the week goes to Matt Miller. Matt Miller says, I like your channel. Thank you, Matt. I like your comment. But I'm still confused. I need a new computer. I do not know where to go. Well, I understand that. I try to offer a lot of options, and that can lead to what is called option paralysis. Option paralysis is when you go to the buffet, everything looks good, you don't know where to start. Same thing here, computer buffet, right? However, that is why I tend to tell you guys, if you have questions or need a little bit more help, go to the Discord, the link's in the description, go to the Tech Questions channel, type in @techie, and ask your question, and they'll help you there. Alternatively, and my favorite thing, join me on those streams. There is no charge. I don't ask for donations or subscriptions or bits or anything. That's just the best place for me to help you one-on-one and have a good time with it. If you want more focused one-on-one help, because, squirrel, right? Mason? Yeah, I get distracted very easily. Sorry, on the stream. And we have a good time there. If you want more focused one-on-one help, I do consultations, paid consultations, because I do have to set that time aside, and that's difficult for me to do these days. Don't DM me on Twitter or Instagram. I cannot keep up with all the DMs that I get there, the requests, and I never said to DM me there. DM me on Discord. Go to the description, click on the link to the Discord. It's a great community that's growing. We're going to hit 1,000 people soon, and we're going to do some really cool stuff when that happens. You don't want to miss it. We're going to have Discord exclusive giveaways, okay? What else do I have to say? For reals. Also, check out my Patreon if you want to support the channel. You know what? That doesn't help Matt Miller's question, though. Yes, so those two things are what I recommend. Putting a question into a YouTube comment. I get a lot of YouTube comments now. Looking back, there are thousands of them that I have not been able to answer, and that is too daunting a task when I'm trying to continue making content for you guys. So, DMing me on Discord or joining the stream is the best way. But I understand the confusion, Matt, and hopefully each video will help you a little bit more. Not for me to tell you what to buy, but to help you make an informed decision on your own. Matt, thank you for liking the channel. Thank you for commenting. And you, sir, have the comment of the week. That's also going to be it for our episode today. Thank you so much for sitting through all of that. I appreciate you guys. And if you want to come chat, hang out in the stream, I promise you, it is so dope. It is so hype. It is so much fun. You're going to love it. It's a different vibe than here, and it's really cool. So I hope to see you there, and I will see you next video. And until then, take care.